Superman.
Did you watch Smallville? Were you a Smallville fan?
Yeah,
Yeah, same thing. It was a guilty pleasure. I was like, well.
Not even
guilty pleasure.
It was okay. The last one sucked.
It did. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Don't tell me. I haven't seen the last season yet.
Spoiler alert!
When
He
Superman
puts on the costume.
Oh no!
But you never see it.
when Superman dies.
Yeah,
in
he
episode
dies.
1 of the last season.
There
Wow.
was no
Did not
Lois and
see
Clark.
The season before was okay though with all the Legion stuff.
Yeah, I know. I love that
Lois
stuff.
and
I love that stuff.
Lois and Clark? Was Lois and Clark any good? Are you serious?
Well, it did
Didn't
have.
watch a second of
It
it.
did have Terry Hatcher.
Yes,
Exactly.
There's
Terry
that to be
Hatcher.
sure.
And the other guy.
Dean Cain.
Yes,
Dean
Dean
Cain.
Cain.
And it was
But
superheroes.
you are a fan.
Yeah. You know, I liked briefly, and it was only on the first season. I loved The Flash, the series.
Oh, because he had the worst
It
costume.
was so terrible.
Like
It's
the muscles kind of puckered because he couldn't try to fill it out.
I was like, we need a red scuba suit. How's that going to help us?
And shouldn't someone who runs that fast be a little slimmer?
You think, yeah.
More of a runner body?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Paranoid. I'm just going to take another look at this to make sure it's a beautiful shot. It is a beautiful shot.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, man.
Get angry. Don't take it out of the
All right,
superheroes.
there's
Okay.
the soundbite.
We're talking almost heroes
Mhm.
with our heroic quartet here.
Yes, woohoo!
Woo, heroes.
So I guess let's start with the Bellevilles.
Okay.
Sure.
How the hell did this happen? Who the hell gave you a television?
Yeah, I know, right? That's just insanity.
We ask ourselves that like every day.
Well, we've been working together for a long time, and
Yep.
No, you are brothers.
We
It's
have-
not like you're married.
no,
The close relationship.
we have been brothers like all of my life.
Yeah,
And most of
absolutely.
his. And
So,
Sean,
so we decided not to be a couple.
we decided not to be a couple. We thought that would be wrong, and that's pretty much it.
But we've been trying to work together for years. We had a couple things. We sold one thing to Comedy Central, another thing to Comedy Network, and we've been kicking around some ideas. And talked to Shaw one day, and
And yeah, we went and we spoke with a showcase and pitched them the idea, and they were like, "That's great, we love it." And it was such a nice, refreshing moment to have somebody so on board,
Yeah.
saying yes right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we wrote the script, and they had some great input, and E1 had some great input, and then we kept
Yeah.
moving forward. And at no point was there ever a headache. We were never going, "Ah."
No.
It just sort of the
no,
show.
nobody didn't get it. Everybody got the show. Everybody got what we were trying to do. Everybody understood it, even at times when we didn't.
And they let us. We did some very silly stuff. We did some really over the top stuff, and they're always like, "Yeah, great." They let us make the show we really wanted to make.
And it was pretty ambitious too. Like we were swinging for the fences, and we just they gave us enough rope. We could have hung ourselves, but we were really happy with how it turned out. We couldn't be.
Well,
couldn't be
it's
happier.
very un-Canadian industry to get a green light like that, and it's very un-American to get
Yeah.
no interference and no notes, or at least none that
Yeah.
no stupid notes.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, it's not that we didn't get no stupid notes. They got the show. Everybody on board was trying to make the show better from day one, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without that.
Yeah, it's a rare thing that you get that people want to say no all the time, and they said yes, and then it's been a very positive, collaborative experience the whole way through. And then we have a show at the end,
Yeah.
and I still watch the episodes. I'm like, I can't believe that we managed to get that to happen.
Yeah.
I can't.
There's so many ways things can go wrong.
People
so
on
many
fire, giant cannons, like
medieval battle scene.
like things like we actually had this conversation with Colin Brunton, who was our line producer. We said so can we get a monkey? He's like, I'll look into it. Like that's the conversation we had.
He came back and he
And
turns out it was,
we have a monkey.
he even tried to get us to, he came back going, and I found your price for an elephant. Yeah. We're like, we don't need the elephant. I was like, okay, but just so you know.
Just in case.
Let me ask you this: would you take a lemur? We're like, no, it has to be a monkey. Right.
These are the decisions we will die for.
That's right. If I don't get, I'll be in my trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Lemur, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation?
So we have the real brothers and we have the
Yeah.
fake brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explain the premise of the show, since you're so enmeshed in it.
I've been working on premise. I've been working on this.
Got it.
Okay, the show. It's about.
Oh no.
It's about two very different brothers who are reunited by their father's passing, and they're forced to work together to save the family comic book shop amidst the chaos of this crappy strip mall that they're in. Right?
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty good.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, and it's hilarious.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, there we go.
Hijinks and soup.
Hijinks and soup.
Why comic book store?
Well, we both enjoyed comics growing up, and there's something that's kind of happened over the last 5-10 years where growing up it used to be a little bit more
Niche.
niche. Niche is a polite way of saying it,
Yeah.
and now
Guys who lived in their parents' basement and
Yeah.
would never date.
We were very niche.
we were so niche.
Is that the proper test?
Yeah, that's right. Ryan, I don't want to go out with you because you're too niche. Okay, thank you.
We might be editing this.
But it's become so mainstream now. Like the top grossing movies are superhero movies.
Every
like,
one of the top 10.
Like you get Thor and Iron Man, Spider-Man. There's Lord of the Rings.
And if they're not, yeah, exactly. If they're not superheroes, they're hobbits or planets we've never seen.
Geek culture is geek culture. Like hipsters literally wear they wear the things
That
are nerdy.
shirt.
Yeah. This shirt, exactly. This is like a
He's a hipster.
Or you see guys like they'll wear skinny jeans and they'll have like suspenders on and like giant glasses, and you're like, that's Urkel's look. Like it's the whole
That's so sad.
nerd
I
culture.
know, that part is sad.
That guy you just kind of want to shove.
But it's this fun little microcosm where you still have the kind of nostalgia for when it
Yeah.
was kind of nerdy or outside the norm, but it is still very mainstream. You can
But
have all your characters.
It's a great setting. I mean, look at Big Bang.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got that setting, and yet it's character.
Yeah.
And then Big Bang's a great example because in Big Bang you don't have to know physics to enjoy the characters.
Same thing here.
I think the same thing. Yeah, you
You
don't
have to know physics to actually.
Yeah, if you
No, you have to know physics. You just don't have to know comics.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's a
right,
straight.
yeah.
We should have. Yeah. If you know there's a Spider-Man movie in the world, if you've you've heard of Star Wars, you're never gonna miss one of our
How do
jokes.
you not?
Yeah.
And then just a little side, I noticed that in the big fan scene, you had to fake your heroes. You didn't want to get any copyright stuff
Yes.
going on.
Although we did get people on board in the end. We got Todd McFarlane's company, Dark Horse Comics, on board.
Image.
Image came on board. Wizards of the Coast was on board. Marvel, we're very close to.
Mattel gave us a bunch of
Yeah.
toys.
Hasbro sent like
Hasbro.
thousands of dollars of stuff.
Spin
so-
Master gave us a ton of
I didn't
Bakugan cards.
But when we wrote the
Yeah.
pilot, we weren't sure we were going to get that.
Yeah.
So we played it safe, and then we were able to get to a place where we had some more freedom.
Yeah, we have a couple references where we make fun of like real stuff, and then but the nice thing is we made a ton of fake comic characters too, so we can.
Which is funny.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Mochrie, sir,
Yeah, yeah.
well known as the world's leading improviser.
Mhm.
So, is there a chance to use that skill on this show, or are you pretty
Well,
much
I
stick
don't
to the script?
think you have to. I mean, usually when I'm on a set and people say, "Well, you improvise," usually there's a problem with the scene or something. But we never had that. Every scene is so beautifully crafted and written by those guys. There is kind of a looseness, but I don't recall any like direct improvising.
There's lots of stuff that you add. That you always added something. You can always put a little English on
I
it.
know a little English on it.
Yeah. or if we're at a place where we've got one we love, someone will come out and say, "Hey, anyone got an idea of how to do something again?" But no, we were at such a commanding pace that we lucked out. The entire cast was hitting everything the whole way.
Such a great cast.
Yeah.
The
Couldn't do
cast
better.
is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul's pretty good.
I'm part of the cast.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that
I should be included. I should be included.
both of these gentlemen work, nonstop, and that they were willing to come and do the show was
It was an honor. I mean, are you kidding me?
it was great. Like nonstop, working nonstop.
Just
He doesn't
nonstop.
stop.
Back to back.
Back to back.
They're both in shows
I'm working right
now.
now as we speak.
This is all I
This
have.
is work.
This is all I have right now.
Well, it's such a positive thing because both these guys were like, yeah, I want to do the show, and it was like, oh, thank you, great.
This is a fun character for you to play. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yes,
Very
Ford is
strange
the
job.
security guard of the mall who may not actually have been hired to do that job. He lives in a van in the parking lot and feels, I think, quite fatherly. Because I actually could have sired every character in the
And
show.
in fact, wow.
I don't like to brag.
Season 5 spoilers.
I think Dad would be the one bragging.
Well, don't tell him. And you know what? I love the fact that the younger guys are doing all the heavy lifting. I can just come in. I have the one costume, which I love, one piece of wardrobe, because I hate. One of my pet peeves about doing shows is having to change. So it's nice. I have this one. Once I had to be a shepherd, but aside from that,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's
Shepherd
right.
guy. I like that.
again, just working with the cat. I mean, I knew Lauren from Second City, and we'd worked together, so it was great to do that. And meeting Paul was one of those. I found since I turned 82 that I like to.
You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I work out a
Great.
little. My major thing now when I do projects is it going to be fun and who's the cast? And couldn't ask for anything better than this. Everyone straight across, not only wonderful in what they do, but just great people. We had a lot of fun. It was almost immediately get into that where you're just making fun of each other's penis and
Not immediately.
not immediately. And the girls didn't
We
quite
took a
get
chance
it.
encounter in the men's washroom before that happened.
Yeah. Still, it happened fairly quick.
It was.
Yeah.
You caught me by surprise.
If you think back, Colin, you were the only one sort of in.
Still, you know,
And in fact, think about it, he was actually making fun of his own penis.
Yeah.
But other than that,
But a few restraining orders later, we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
last friends.
But it so helps both ways to have a tight cast when you've got an ensemble like this, and when something is so character driven, that also drives that, and vice versa. You know, playing off each other, because you develop. I mean, what did you do? Shoot 13?
We shot 8.
We shot 8 of
Shot
them.
Well, we
yeah.
did it very quickly, and I mean, as you said, we're doing 12, 13, 14 hours a day. Sometimes actors are in every scene together. And we should stop for a second to say, hey, Lauren Ash, who plays Bernie, which is sort of like their best friend from growing up, is amazing. Dave Hempstead is terrific. Megan Heffern, Athena Karkanis, our whole cast was just, and all our day players. Just we lucked out across the board, and
It's nice to shoot in
Yeah.
Toronto too. A lot of shows in Canada shoot like regionally, which is great. But Toronto is the place where like the best comedic talent lives. So on a moment, we had at least 1 or 2 circumstances where we were under the gun and we lost a day player, and somebody awesome just like swooped in on a moment's notice, and that's the great thing about being in Toronto.
yeah.
And of course, the home of strip mall culture.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, we
What
all-
a
Yeah.
perfect setting, just in terms of plot stuff you can pull. A strip mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we built from. We actually built that strip mall.
That's not a
from
real
scratch.
strip mall?
No, we built that from the.
It's really
ground
cool.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we own the whole thing. That's why we can shoot inside and outside continuously, because we built the whole thing. There's no studio stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't want to have that kind of studio look where you can't look out windows.
Yeah.
People are like, that's a nice living room with frosted glass windows and no foliage in the back. So we like it was pitched by the
Yeah.
set designer.
So how about we do it with it when we actually build them all from the ground up, so we can go from the comic book store to the parking lot where Boyd lives, into the Saskatoon, store where Lauren works, and over to the Sportapalooza where Dave is. And as you said, the strip mall is great for us because you have the same characters that Terry left this place to leave behind. The jocks who made him miserable when he was maybe a nerd like his brother growing up. The popular girls who worked at Saskatoon who wouldn't have hooked up with him. He's sort of back in that mix, and although he's cool and step beyond that, you're sort of put back in that microcosm again.
Yeah.
And you get to exact that revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Having
exactly.
been niche guys when you were growing up, these were all people that,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and you get to exact revenge to a degree. We still get beaten up on
A lot.
Yeah.
But you must prevail. Because
Sure.
that's, Okay, Almost Heroes, I showcase, when's it debut?
June
June
2nd.
2nd.
June 2nd,
30.
Just like at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Mhm.
And that's June 2nd is what day of the week?
Thursday.
Your penis is small.
Thursday. Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know where to be.
So if there's
Showcase.
no hockey
Yeah.
games, there's no excuse.
Yes,
Perfect.
good. All right,
It
gentlemen.
really is great, a great show.
All right.
It's
Not that you're in any way biased.
well, I usually just watch my stuff, but I actually watch the entire
All right, well, there's the
show,
ultimate test.
and it held my interest all the way through.
Wow, great.
I just can't say it. It really is a great show.
Yeah, occasionally you come under the trailer, watch other people work.
Yeah, and then get someone to get something from the craft table.
Hey, no costume
It's a
change.
good life.
It's a good life. And you've earned it, Mr. Martin.
Thank you. 82.
Here, here.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. This is
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool, that was great.
Like shit through a goose.